So you graduated from the Kennedy School. How did you land in state government from there?
Sandra, everything is a story. So, I, I graduated from the Kennedy School. It was so exciting, and I have to say, I think that they sometimes when you're graduating from Ivy League schools, I feel, and this is like not an experience I've ever had. So I should make it clear. I've been at an HBCU, a state school, and an Ivy League school, all of which are very different experiences. I so appreciate each one of them because they have each contributed to molding me into who I am today, and I think makes me very, very comfortable being in lots of different scenarios around lots of different types of people. But you know, I graduated, and I think like around that time, really they start to prepare you, and sometimes I think they make you feel like you're leaving Harvard, like everyone's gonna want to hire you. Well, that may be the case for white men. Let's just be honest and clear. That may be the case for white men, but I am still a black woman, and I still have to compete for everything that I go after. So I did not necessarily find that to be the case for myself or for my colleagues who were people of color who graduated either. And I still had to very much compete for the positions I was going after. So I actually applied for positions in lots of different places. I interviewed at no, I did not interview. I applied and made it to like a first round of interviews or something for a couple of consulting firms like BCG and the top consulting firms. A social impact consulting firm. I also made it to a couple rounds into that, and I found them to be interesting but not motivating. Still not quite what I thought I would be doing. I applied for a couple of different states and actually had a couple of interviews for states in Massachusetts in particular. Applied for some positions there, and then I applied for a position in Virginia. And I put it out there. It was an Office of Health Equity. I don't remember how I found it, but I was very serious about applying for jobs and networking at this time. And I also had a very short stint of consulting right after I graduated from the Kennedy School. So I was kind of doing that and applying for jobs at the same time. The Equitist didn't exist then, so it was just like me side hustling,
Independent. Yep.
independent, trying to make it until my next thing. And so I applied for all these positions. They all got whittled down eventually. And I went out of the country for a week or so with classmates. We went on a trip to Nigeria, which was beautiful. I was in Nigeria and Charlottesville happened. So I was actually watching the coverage of Charlottesville when we were in Nigeria, and we'd actually just come from the I think it's the like gate of no return. So it's the area where the transatlantic slave trade, like it's one of the ports of the transatlantic slave trade. Now, the juxtaposition of the fact that I just come from, in the same day, I just come from a place that essentially originated slavery. And I'm getting CNN news alerts about Charlottesville, tiki torches and white supremacists in the same day. And this is in Virginia. So I was like, let me withdraw my application from Virginia because that's not my ministry. But I didn't. And they reached out once I got back. They reached out and said, we would like to talk to you. And I said, okay, well, we can talk. I'm not going to make any, promises, but we can talk. I went in for, an interview. I did a couple of phone interviews. Then I went in for an in-person interview, and they were like, we want to hire you. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to Virginia. So that's kind of, but I was very much like, should I be doing this? This is the cradle of the Confederacy. It is not lost on me, the history that is here, the ways that Virginia has had a very significant influence historically on the codifying of race, on slavery. There were more millionaires per capita at the height of slavery in Virginia than anywhere else in the country. So that is a deep-seated history that I really had to think, like, should I do this? But ultimately, I said, yes, I should do this. Because, one, they don't know who I am. And they don't know what I'm going to bring to this role. But two, isn't this what my ancestors died for? Isn't this what they would have wanted? Isn't this their wildest dreams? And so I said yes. And I moved to Virginia, and I'm still in Virginia. Bought a house in Virginia, so I'm here for a while to shake things up.